Dziękuję. Pan Daniel van der Stoep.
Mr. Daniel van der Stoep, please.
Voorzitter.
Thank you. Mr Barroso, openness and transparency are fundamental values of every self-respecting democracy. If people in administration can't have their expenditure monitored by citizens, then a sphere of greed and self-enrichment can occur. We've seen that over the last few years in the UK. Now, in the Dutch press, it has been mentioned that Mr Barroso in 2009 declared an amount of €730,000. Now, that's not just a ludicrously large amount, but it's quite a feat. Imagine declaring €2,000 per day. Hats off to you, Mr Barroso. But on a more serious note, President, democratic scrutiny of these declarations is something that really has to be dealt with, because internal audit is occurring and then pre-vetted people are allowed to give it their seal of approval. So I would ask Mr Barroso and the Commission as a whole to move away from this culture of secrecy and publish their declarations openly and transparently on the internet so that all European citizens can see what it says in them. I'd appreciate a response.
I am somewhat surprised by this kind of comments. In fact, the so-called representation expenses are expenses we make at the service of the European Union, namely travel of the members of the Commission, myself and the other members of the Commission. And in fact, if you compare these amounts with what is spent by governments or heads of state and government, you will find that these are very small compared to those expenditures. The budget for the college is fixed annually by the budget authority. You are part of that, and this budget has remained the same for 5 years, only adapted to inflation. Regarding the expenditures, we believe they are reasonable and proportionate for the public goods they try to serve. And we are, of course, using full transparency. We are presenting to the budget authority, to the Court of Auditors, all elements that have been requested from us.
Dziękuję.
Thank you, Mr. President.
De heer Barroso.
Thank you. Well, apparently Parliament does get access to the declarations, but that's nonsense. Everything happens behind closed doors. Everything is shrouded in secrecy. If Mr Barroso really does want to show responsibility, then he should really make all of this public. And if he doesn't want to, then he should at least admit it openly and honestly. Now, if you are following all the rules, then why can't these declarations or whatever be published on the internet? Maybe you're just afraid of the reactions of the citizens. Just make them public.
Thank you.
In a system of law, we respect the rules. And
Okay, Mr. President Barroso will give an answer. Mr. President, please start.
in a system of law, we respect the rules of law. And to make, let's say, analysis of the intentions of people is at least unfair. We cannot attribute to me or to the Commission any intention behind what is the respect of the rule of law. And once again, I think we have to make a distinction between what are the obligations of the European Commission or any public body regarding the rule of law, or what is to give up to some demagogic attacks that are made to the European institutions. In fact, the European Commission, the European Parliament, the European institutions in general have the highest standards in terms of transparency. And so I do not accept this kind of easy criticism, populistic, demagogical.
Panie Przewodniczący, za wypowiedź.
Thank you, President. Thank you for your answers. We have completed the first round of questions to the President of the Commission.